Hello everybody and welcome to Legend of the Green Dragon Second Age. Now this is something that I signed up to be a tester for, so I do want to reiterate that this is in the testing phase. I found this through Reddit. I said I would provide a link. This is an app for your phone, and I would provide a link. However, there is a certain thing that you have to go through. There's a process where you have to sign up to be a tester, you have to be added to the list, and then only then are you able to actually download the app. So right now it is not currently available to everybody. If I find a way to actually link it or show you how to do the process, because I'm not really sure it's within my right to do so at the moment, then I will let you know. However, this, like I said, this is in testing. So Legend of the Green Dragon, as you guys know, that was my first major role-playing experience. It was an all-text RPG that I played on LotGD.net, legendofthegreendragon.net. Honestly, I met so many amazing people through there. I made so many amazing memories through there. And I honestly learned about roleplay through LotGD.net. I also played .com, like LotGD.com. So Legend of the Green Dragon is kind of like its source code comes from Legend of the Red Dragon, and I know that I explained this in my original video. Its source code comes from Legend of the Red Dragon, which was one of those old RPGs where, it was online and you only had a day to... Basically, it's you had to kill the Red Dragon, and it was a race to see who could do it first. And when someone finally killed the Red Dragon, then the whole game would reset, everybody would go back to level 1, and then the race would be on again to kill the Red Dragon. And I tried playing Legend of the Red Dragon, but I could never really get into it. Of course, that was before my time, so it really wasn't something that I was able to get into, but Legend of the Green Dragon took inspiration and a lot of the code and stuff from Legend of the Red Dragon. And it kind of just became this friendlier version, which allowed many people to kill the dragon, and not everybody had to reset. It's just when you did kill the dragon yourself, you would reset back to 1. And like I said, it was just this massive growing community. And since then, people have taken the code from Legend of the Green Dragon to make spin-offs of their favorite animes. So there was basically a Bleach text RPG that was all based on Legend of the Green Dragon, or that had the source code from Legend of the Green Dragon. There was a Naruto one that was super popular, and that one also took its source code from Legend of the Green Dragon. So this, and you could also pay to have the, you could also pay money, I guess, to host your own site, and then you could basically program it however you want. So at one point, myself and a friend of mine, we had our own Legend of the Green Dragon server, but it didn't last very long because it was really expensive to host the site, and I didn't know how any of the coding worked. But anyways, like I said, Legend of the Green Dragon, it is just something that I have been, I guess, playing since I was 12. And now being 33, I mean, that's 21 years of Legend of the Green Dragon, and, no matter what, I always tend to come back to this site. But unfortunately, with its age and just the old website, and of course all the creators kind of going and moving off to bigger, better things and neglecting the website, Legend of the Green Dragon, for as much as I love it, is empty and basically unplayable. I've tried to replay Legend of the Green Dragon, because, again, it's something that I really want to showcase. And I probably will try again, but there's just days where you can't even log in, websites won't let you, and it's just a nightmare. But we'll go into that maybe at another time. But anyways, for now, welcome to Radaim, or Radaim, I don't know, however you want to pronounce it. So the Second Age, from what I've noticed so far, is that it is pretty tried and true to Legend of the Green Dragon, but there are a lot of changes. Obviously, this whole Radaim thing, I don't know what that is. I have never heard of this place in my life. If it's not good old, Gluckmore or Glorfindel or Romar, or anything like that, I have no idea what you were talking about. So obviously this is a little bit different. I love this artwork in the back. I love the visuals. I love how beautiful it is. You know, Legend of the Green Dragon really was just a green screen in the background, unless you changed the background color. Some people like the edgier website motifs, but I always stuck with like the original. But we never had images, right? The only images that you could find were on character profiles, and you had to pay money to have an image placed in your character profile. And the thing is, it wasn't even an image of your choosing. It was one artist that they had draw up some pictures for the races, and so you had like one static image that didn't even look like your character, most likely. So you'd have these big bulky dwarfs, or these like really weird like troll looking things. Like, I don't know, the art style is great, it's just not my personal art style that I like. But yeah, so you'd pay for these really these very static images that you couldn't even customize. And those were the only images in the game. And it's crazy to me that the only images in the game were the logo itself and those images that you paid actual real money for to put in your character like profile to say, hey, I paid money for this website. I donated to this website. Look at me and how cool I am. That's essentially all they were good for. Because again, you had no character customization, you couldn't even add your own image. Like, it was kind of silly. Like, now thinking back on it, back then I was like, oh man, I need one of those. So having this like little backdrop, very, very nice. I mean, obviously it doesn't really show much, you know, it's a painted style, it doesn't really give a lot of detail, but it starts to like kind of give the image of what you're supposed to be seeing, the setting that you're supposed to be in. So it says, welcome to Redeim, the cottages of the poor, to the palaces of the rich, to the guilds and the clans of the powerful and unknown. This place marked as the start of war, not only with the Green Dragon, but with each other. Each guild vying for power, each race entrenched in secrets and politics. Here they come together to begin their journey and end their enemies. So, I don't know if Redeim is kind of like the, I guess, the new player island or whatever, the island of noob. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to be. I'm not sure. I'm only level 4? No, level 3. I'm either level 3 or level 4 right now. So I don't know if that's actually what this is. I don't know if I'll actually go to my town, like, once this is finished. But so far, I have not seen Glorfindel or Romar. And since this game is in alpha, it is in testing, again. I don't know if I even have the ability... I don't think there's the ability to travel right now, but that doesn't mean that it won't come. So first I want to show you like the daily news. So again, daily news, it just talks about everybody that's been, you know, killed, everything else. So anybody that's played Legend of the Green Dragon can very easily navigate this, right? So daily news is just the daily news. It's just the typical announcements when someone dies or defeats someone important or loses in PvP. It's the typical shit. Message of the day. So looking at the message of the day, in September, they just added Violet and Seth. So like I said, this is a work in progress, where they finally added Violet and Seth. They've made changes to equipment, they've added PvP. So this is all in September that they were making updates, you know, adding mounts, working on the banking system, right? So these guys have been really hard at work. And I am showing you where I'm tapping just so that you can see me actively, like, navigating this as, you know, like the old person that I am. One thing I will note is the collectible jewels, right? So I don't know what's going on with collectible jewels. This is obviously something that was not in the original, you know, Legend of the Green Dragon, at least not to my knowledge. It definitely wasn't in LotGD.net. So that I can say with certainty and can say as a fact. But you gotta remember, LotGD.net wasn't the original. There was .com and everything else, and there was multiple Legend of the Green Dragons. So I mean, the original could have eventually added this mechanic, but for what I know, this is completely unique. This is not something I've seen before. So it says, for those that did not notice, there's now a wandering jewel trader in the forest. For a few gems, he will trade a random jewel, which will aid you in some way during your adventure. Some jewels are also collectible, which means they get added to your jewel collection once you find them. You can access your jewel collection from your character profile at the top of the screen. There are currently 5 collectible jewels, with 2 being seasonal, which means once the season ends, the jewel will no longer be available. Jewels come in 4 rarity: common, uncommon, rare, and ultra rare. Right now there is no action you can take with the jewels in your collection, but I'm toying with ideas for these for the future. Right, so I think that this is something that's going to be completely unique to this version. I don't like the idea of seasonal things. I hate seasonal things unless you're going to bring them back around during that season. So, say that you have a special Halloween jewel, and then you're like, oh, well, it's the Headless Horseman jewel or something like that. You know, I'm just making up stuff, right? Once that season ends, right, and then you go into the next Halloween, you're like, well, this year we're having the Jack-o'-lantern jewel, and you don't bring back the Headless Horseman jewel. I kind of think that's silly, right? I think that it's just kind of annoying. You know, it doesn't really give people the opportunity to get these rare things. Yes, it does give people the opportunity to show off, but in a game that's based on RNG, you know, just random number generation and pure chance, especially riches and chance, you know, because you have to make sure you have the gems for that, and then there's the RNG for that. I think making stuff just a one-time seasonal thing is silly, and it just shouldn't exist. But that's just my opinion. But as you can see, these people are not only working very hard to implement the classics, like the classic things that we're used to, but they're also adding their own spin on things. This can go in a couple different directions. This can be very good, but this can also be very bad. So far it looks like it's really good. I like the things that I have been seeing that are kind of unique. I haven't really played too much with it, but now we're gonna go to the Market Street. So, oh, it's a new day. A new day happens every 30 minutes, so depending on how much I ramble, this might, you know, this is unscripted, so. Anyways, a new day has occurred. You feel refreshed and ready to take on the world. You open your eyes to discover that a new day has been bestowed upon you. It is your 5th day. As a wood elf, you live in the trees. You gain +5 energy. Your energy has been set to 25 for the day, so I can fight in the forest 25 times. Your use of special abilities has been set to 4, and you have an interest of 2 gold that you have banked. Now, going back to Market Street. Alright, so first, as you can see, they have a lot of stuff that is lined up, okay? And some of these, again, if you've played LotGD, you will recognize them right away. So we have the weapon shop, the armor shop, we have Yule Day Bank, gem shop, town stables, you know, whatever. Already, I'm kind of sad because it's just called weapon shop and armor shop. I'm also kind of sad because we don't currently have an image. It would be nice to have an image very much like the first page where it's kind of like that painted style, even if it just shows like an alley, you know, or something with some buildings lined up. Like, that would be really nice, and I hope that we do see an image in the future. But I am really sad that already it's not called Mighty E's weapons or Pegasus armor, right? These are just classic names that we're all used to, right? Mighty E was the one that really kind of like brought, you know, that code to us. You know, a lot of the classic LotGD servers were attributed to Mighty E. Now, I don't know if Mighty E may have done something bad or something, and maybe that's not why they're including him, or maybe because it's kind of weird, but I would hope in the future that it's called something other than just weapon shop. Even if the creator, like the person making Second Age, called it, you know, Tristan's weapon shop or something, or ended up calling it something in tribute to himself, I think that would be better than just calling it the weapon shop. I think that's kind of just boring. Same with just the armor shop. Yule Day Bank is very classic. Then we have the gem shop, the town stables, which is where I assume, you know, you're gonna get your mounts and stuff. And then I guess Pebblestone housing is currently closed. I have played games like LotGD sourced games where housing is available. When me and my friend had a site, we did have housing available. I do love the aspect of housing because it keeps you safe from PvP, you have your own personal bank, like housing is very useful. I do think it's a little bit too OP, I think it's very overpowered, so I would think that it would have to be pretty expensive to get a house. But at the same time, like, I do like the aspect of housing, it's just something that would have to be pretty monitored. But when we go into the weapon shop, for example, I love this. Alright, so look at this. We have all of these weapons, right? And before, you would just have, like, I guess just names. You would have names of weapons, how much they cost, right? You'd see, basically, you'd have someone saying, hey, this is the gear that you have. I'll offer you such and such for it. But instead, as you can see right now, I own the dagger. They would offer me 332 bucks. It does cut down on a lot of the unnecessary dialogue, but in a way it kind of takes out that characterization, because usually the NPC in the shop's supposed to say, hey, I like the look at your dagger, I'll give you such and such for it, even if you're not selling it, right? So while this is very convenient, it kind of does take out some of the characterization, but I do love the fact that we do have actual images for the weapons. Now, obviously, these are pretty cut and dry. They're very standard. They don't make you go, ooh la la, you know? Like the Dragon Slayer sword is like, okay, that's, you know, that's pretty cool. But obviously, between the wooden club and the heavy club, there's not really a difference. You know, long sword, broadsword, those are all very cut and dry. Mace is pretty boring. Battle axe is pretty plain, right? So there's nothing like super crazy about these, you know, but it is nice that we have these images. I think they're fascinating. And just seeing them is just really, really nice. So obviously, if you do want a new weapon, you'd have to view it first. It would pull it up, and it would tell you, okay, this is the attack of it, this is how much it costs, and then you have such and such on hand. Right now, I don't have any gold on me because I'm smart, and I deposit my gold before I log out because I know that people will kill me, and then steal my stuff. So, you know, if I had the money for this, then I would press buy. I would obviously get the 332 for my dagger on top of whatever I had on hand, and then I would suddenly be the owner of a wooden club. As you level up, you obviously still want to upgrade your weapon and your armor. So, the only thing is that there's no really go back to Market Street. At least I didn't see it. There's return to village. Yeah. So right now, all we can do is return to village. I wish there was a button, like there should be another button that says return to village, return to Market Street. Because the thing is like, what if I want to go to the armor shop next? Well, then it's just a few too many clicks, you know? So I'd have to return to village, then return to Market Street, then click on the armor shop, right? So it's just kind of an inconvenience, right? It's not bad, it's just kind of an inconvenience. Again, it's the same thing. You know, the shopkeepers and the armor keepers and the weapon keepers, like I said, right now they don't really have any personalities. Like I said, I wish they had names. I wish they had personalities. I wish there was more characterization of what the weapon shop looked like. Like they could even have a forge in the background, right? Because obviously this whole menu of weapons and stuff, it's going to take up the majority of stuff. But the thing is they could still have a burning forge in the background just to give this page like a little bit more life, right? So right now I have the winter boots. I haven't upgraded my gear yet to the winter cloak, but yeah. And again, we have the return to village, which then takes you back to this main thing. So like I said, if you've ever played Legend of the Green Dragon, this is not hard to navigate, but you are going to see that there's a lot of stuff missing. Like obviously the kitchens are missing, you know, Saucy's kitchen is missing. You know, there are some changes here. Like I said, there's no Mighty E's weapons, there's no Pegasus armor. And what you're actually going to be seeing the most is, where's the dojo, right? Where is the actual dojo where you level up? Well, the thing is, this game doesn't have one. So, going into what everybody's probably the most curious about, which is the forest, right? Again, I love the art. I love how dreary it is. You know, I love this. So you already have your typical options. You have look for something to kill, which is going to find something within your level or higher, right? Because you can always have the chance of finding something higher or even lower. Looking for something to kill, which is the standard. Go slumming, which is the easy option. And then you have go thrill seeking, which is looking for higher level stuff deliberately. And then you have the healer's hut. Alright, so let's just go ahead and look for something to kill, right? So immediately, right, I love that it has my name, my health with my attack and all my stats. It has the frigid skeleton, it's fighting me with the cold grave, right? And then it has the typical text over here. And, you know, he lunges at me with the cold gavel. I gain a bonus for being proficient in my weapon, which I don't really understand. And then down here, you have my dark arts, because I always play as an elf with dark arts. In this game, it's wood elf, which I don't know why there's a differentiation. I don't know why it's wood elf instead of just elf, but, you know, whatever. So I'm an elf with dark arts. So I have my skeleton crew, my cursed spirit, and my voodoo pins, right? And I have Elven Fury, which means it gives me 5 extra battles. I have Elven Fury for 5 battles, my bad. So we have Flee and we have Fight. My only thing is, I love the option to fight to the finish. Like, you literally just fight for 5 rounds or fight until finished or whatever. This one, you literally have to do it one at a time. So you press fight, and again, it's going to give you the breakdown of what happened. So I fired 2 arrows, I did 5 total damage, I missed the skeleton and so it gave me back 2 of that damage that I caused. It swung at me, but I managed to repost for 1 damage, right? So we just keep fighting. And as you can see, its health is going down, my health was going down, and now this thing's nearly dead, and then boom, bam, this character is dead. So it's really standard stuff for Legend of the Green Dragon. Now we can return to Forest. I do love that we return to Forest. I'm glad we don't return to the village, because if we return to the village, I would riot. You know, so now we see that we're at 40 health. It'll only cost us 2 gold to heal. We have 45 gold on hand, or no, I only have not 2 gold to heal, but I have to only heal for 2. I don't understand the heal cost. I don't know if that tells me how much I have to pay, because when you go to the healer's hut, it pops up with this. You find a healer's hut, would you like to be healed? You spend some time, okay, it's 2 gold. You spend some time and rest with the local healer, you feel better physically, you pay the cost of 2 gold. Okay, so the heal cost, that is what it is, okay. And also we have an experience bar, right? So instead of like going to the dojo once your health is full and then challenging somebody in order to gain the next level, honestly, you just go straight to the next level. And while for a lot of people that might be more convenient, I actually do not like this model. Because the thing is you know, I got hit with the pretty stick, yay, because yesterday I got hit with the ugly stick. A lot. It's hard on my confidence. But the thing is like, I really just don't like this model, because the thing is I get, with the days resetting every 30 minutes, and me getting 20-some, you know, battles a day, right? I'm leveling up like crazy. Like, I'm already leveled up at this point. Like, I'm almost at the point where I can level up. And I'll probably level up in the next, like, couple of battles. And the only way I knew I was leveling up was all of a sudden my, what was it? All of a sudden my health had gone up. Mysterious cave. No, thank you. No, I'm not going in the mysterious cave, because that's how cave-ins happen, and I always have a cave-in happen to me. No, thank you. But the only way I know I leveled up is I was like running through my battles and I'm like, oh my gosh, I leveled up. Because as you see, I scroll through the dialogue so fast, because really there's no point in reading all of it, especially since I'm a Legend of the Green Dragon veteran, I guess you could say. There's no point in reading all of that. And so, you know, at the end of the fight, I was just like, oh, when did I get, you know, 42 health instead of 32 health? And then I was like, oh crap, you know, that must be because I leveled up. So again, I don't like that. I don't like that model. I wish there was a message that instead said, you know, that popped up like the healer's hut that said, you've leveled up. Now travel to the dojo to challenge your master, right? And then it makes sure that you have to have, you know, the adequate stuff so that you can actually level up. I'm gonna go ahead and withdraw all gold. This is another thing. So, in the bank, you can deposit gold or deposit all gold, and then you can withdraw gold. I wish there was another option where you could withdraw all gold, because honestly, I hate having to sit here and be like, okay, 170, and then you can't even press go, right? You can't even press the go button. You have to click out of the menu, then you have to press withdraw gold, then it'll say that you successfully did it. And again, I just think that's a messy system. I just don't think it's necessary, right? I just do not think that is actually necessary to do all that. So, now we're going to go back to Market Street. We're going to go back to the armor shop. I can afford the winter cloak, so I'm going to go ahead and view it. Then I'm going to head and buy it. Oh, I don't have enough. I'm 1 gold short. Okay, so we're going to go to Market Street. I'm not taking any chances. I'm going to deposit all my gold. Right, see? Look how simple that is. It deposited all my gold into the bank. So I'm just like, I don't understand why that can't be implemented with the withdrawal system. Also with the gems, I don't really understand. I mean, I like the fact that you can bank the gems, but if you only have a gem limit of 3 that you can bank, I don't really understand. I don't know if that's telling me I have 3 gems. And that's the thing, it tells me how many gold I have, but there should also be a window down here where it tells me how many gems I have. So not being able to see my gems is just very frustrating. It's not something that I appreciate very much. I probably shouldn't have fought this dude, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my skeleton crew, give me a little bit of a boost. So I'm gonna go ahead and Oh, I didn't mean to do that, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Give me a little bit of an edge, because I'm really just not equipped for anything outside of slumming at this point. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go slumming. Which, again, I'm still gonna be at a disadvantage, because I'm not nearly as geared as I need to be. Alright, the jewel trader showed up. He can trade me stuff, but again, I don't have 3 gems, which again is just more frustrating than not, because I don't know how, like, I really just don't know how many gems I have, and that should be something, that should be information that I believe should be available. I got hit with a pretty stick again, thank you. I have noticed that the amount of random events that pop up are really not a lot so far. I mean, some days it does seem like more of them pop up than not, but it kind of just seems like the same ones right now. I've ran into the old man wanting to be escorted back into town a lot. I've been hit with the pretty stick and the ugly stick a lot. I have kind of run into that situation where random events happen where you like trip and fall in the mud and then it makes you uglier. I think I lost about like 20 charm in one day. Like literally, you know, in the 15 minutes I played it, I lost like 20 charm just because my character kept tripping over rocks and falling into manure or whatever it is, you know? Now as far as like the visuals for fighting, I'm actually glad that there's no visuals for the monsters, because I can't even imagine just how much, you know, you would have to spend on like finding art for all the monsters that there are, because there are just so many, like Leatherface, you know, with a rusty chainsaw. Maybe he's only in there just because it's Halloween season, or maybe he's just like a permanent, you know, part of that. But, you know, I wouldn't want the creators, like, or not the creators, I wouldn't want the developers of this app to really spend all that on the resources. I wouldn't mind if every once in a while the backdrop changed, you know, just depending on the day or the time, but I also know that programming that would probably be a nightmare, so this stagnant image is actually just not bad. But yeah, let's see. So these aren't really things I'm really worried about. I do like the image on the dark arts. I think that this is amazing that every skill actually has an image to it. Like, that was something I was actually thrilled about. Like, I thought that that was phenomenal, and I appreciate that so much. You know, because I always, you know, playing Legend of the Green Dragon, since everything is up to your imagination, just seeing the little, like, the little, not the tabs, but just seeing the little images and stuff, the little thumbnails, that was the word I was searching for. Seeing the little thumbnails for that, just, it brings me a sense of joy. Oh, I got 2 gems, nice. But see, I just got 2 gems and it still doesn't tell me how many gems I have. So again, it's just, like, that's just annoying for me. But no, I do love these little thumbnails. I think it's really, really nice. I think it's a great little thing. As always, when you defeat something, you still get the, like, the little random stuff, like another prom dress ruin, this stuff doesn't wash out, you know, like, just little quirky, like, little things that you can appreciate. So, going through the battles, another pretty stick, nice. 2 gems, nice. But yeah, just going through all this stuff, it's very typical for Legend of the Green Dragon. Nothing bad, you know, it's just very standard experience. I wouldn't really expect it to be anything grandeur, because the thing is I'm not really looking for anything unique, you know? The reason why we pick up stuff like this is because we're looking for nostalgia. You know, like, let's be honest, if you were to play this, it's not because you're wanting a unique LOTGD experience, really, you're playing it for the convenience of nostalgia. I mean, that's how I would see it anyways. So while I hope the developers do... Oh, I leveled up again, nice. So while I hope the developers really do, you know, work hard to create something that's unique for them, that they enjoy and that they're proud of, at the same time, like, a lot of us are going to be playing this for familiarity, I would think. Alright, so we're going to go back to the armor shop. How much gold do I have on hand? View. Alright, we're going to go straight up to this armor. Alright, so now we have the leather gloves. Return to village. Market Street. Weapon shop. Do I have enough for the wooden club? No, not even close. So we're going to return to village, go to Market Street, we're going to go to the Yielde Bank, we're going to deposit all our gold. Would I have enough now? That's 826. Armor shop, 800. Nope, I need 842. Still. Return to village, Market Street, Yolde Bank, deposit all gems. You're not allowed to store that many gems. So this is what really frustrates me. We can only store 3 at a time. I don't understand why. I mean, I guess it gives us enough for the jewel trader, but because the jewel trader is kind of like a random thing, you would literally just have to withdraw those gems every day and then hope that you run across the jewel trader and then give him those gems. So I don't really understand like the point of that, but maybe I will. Alright, so I have 7 gems. I could buy a pony, but a pony is just going to give me 1 energy per day. It's really not going to do a lot for me. Stallion, Warhorse, Shadowfax. Okay. 10 energy per day. Okay, now naturally we want the baby dragon. I mean, I know the unicorn's great and all, but nah, I'd want a baby dragon. Okay, so going on, now that we've done that, I want to go over into the character tab and kind of show you that. So this is essentially what it looks like. Farm Girl Samutari. I'm a farm girl because I have not killed the dragon yet. My race is wood elf instead of just elf. I think saying that wood elf, I'm just a wood elf, kind of takes out a lot of the, I guess, roleplay aspect if you go by your character. Now, I know that a lot of people in LotGD just really ignored what they chose as their race, and you kind of just had to read their character profile. But here's where it kind of loses it for me from the roleplay aspect, which, again, this is in testing, so this might be something that they add later. But I think that just calling myself a wood elf is really just shoving a character into a box, whereas elf was kind of like more loosely defined. Elf could mean wood elf, elf could mean dark elf or drow, you know, elf could mean high elf. There are just so many things that elf could mean because there's so many different types of elf. Even just saying elf could literally mean that you were a half elf, because sometimes there was just no way to really distinguish between the two. So, I think that just saying that you're a wood elf, again, is just kind of shoving a character in a box. I kind of just like the general use of elf, because then it opens it up for the roleplay aspect. Now, as far as speciality and everything like else, none of that actually matters. But what I miss is, there used to be a section in the website where you could add your own text, right? That was your profile, that was your soapbox, that was your moment to define your character and say, hi, my name is blah, I am this type of character. And that's what really sets you up for roleplay. It either sets you up for roleplay, or, you know, it sets you up for roleplay, or, you know, it kind of just lets you introduce yourself as a player and then let your expectations be known on how you wanted to play this game. But right now, we do not have that. We do not have that at all in this, you know, at this moment. We don't have anything that lets you add any images. We don't let you there's nothing that lets you add any text. So while it's a little unfortunate, I am hoping that the developers kind of look at the fact that LotGD was more of like a role-playing game, and they look at it less of, oh, you could just play this game to get a lot of dragon kills. I hope they see it as a role-playing opportunity to really bring a lot of the classic players back and really build up a community again. In which case, we do need a section to create a profile, because honestly, if you're role-playing, right, and if you're... let me put this into perspective. When I was 12, and even when I was like 18, I had so many opportunities to play this game. It was unreal, because I had the computer lab at school, I had my computer at home, right? I didn't have a job, right? So I had so many opportunities to play this game. So it wasn't really hard to keep up a character image, you know, everybody knew who I was without looking at my profile, because I was just frequent. But as an adult, you know, working 40 hours a week and not really being able to have my phone on in work, or even having my phone at work, I don't really think I'd be able to keep up with that presence enough to really justify not having a profile. People would be like, oh, who's that? Even though I'd been around before. And then they'd be looking for anything to kind of cling to as to, who is this person? What is she about, right? So having that profile is really handy if you can click on another person, look at their profile, and then go, ah, you know, you know, she's this character from this place whose goal is this, right? And then that allows you to interact with my character. But honestly, there's not really a lot of, like, places for that. So if we go back to the village, we can go to the Tavern Street, and then we have the Drunken Dragon Inn. Again, it's a custom name. We, please good travel, some adventurers robbed me of a precious gold. Would you spare 500 gold for an old beggar? I don't have that. So we do have this nice little image of the inn. I do like this again. Once we enter the inn, we can talk to Fox the barkeep, which I'm so glad the barkeep has a name. We can flirt with Seth, talk to Violet, rent a room, or whatever. Alright, so flirting with Seth if you're a female and talking to Violet, this is very standard per the source code, okay? There were no same-sex relationships in Legend of the Green Dragon, and I accept that. As a, you know, homosexual woman myself, I have no interest in Seth. I could give a care less about Seth. He's only useful for his buffs anyways, but I would take Violet. You know, like, that's the thing. If I had my choice, I would want to flirt with Violet. I do not think it's beyond the coders or the programmers, you know, the developer working on this. I do not think it's beyond them, because you have space for 2 buttons, right? And so you could have a flirt with Seth, talk with Seth. Flirt with Violet, talk with Violet, right? I don't think it would be beyond them to have an option for both, depending, like, no matter your sex. I don't program. I'm not sure how any of that works. But I don't understand why we can't have an option. And that's just my opinion. So, as someone that has played Legend of the Green Dragon for 20 years, 21 years, just let me flirt with Violet without having to make a man. Like, come on, it is 2024. Let me be gay. That's all I want. So, but yeah, so if I could change anything, I would honestly change this from the original. I would keep this as unoriginal as possible. I would give players the choice. Like, have a flirt option here, have a talk option here, you know, find some way to work it out. Like, that would be my only thing. I wish that was available. I mean, I don't know. You know, it's just like, that would be nice. Again, representation is important, and it doesn't have to be down your throat. I think having the option for both isn't shoving anything down anyone's throat, especially since mostly this is a game of pretend. So, honestly, like, I don't see why that can't be made possible, and if it could be made possible, I would definitely make that possible, and that would make players like me, who have never had that option in their lives, like, that would make a player like me just extremely, extremely happy. So, talking to Fox, the barkeep, we can buy drinks from him, we can buy potions from him, which I think is a little odd. I don't really remember that. I remember buying drinks, and I know that all the drinks had an effect, but there was really no option to buy potions. And the thing is we had Saucy's kitchen, and buying stuff from the kitchen would give you buffs as well, so there was no real reason to buy potions. So again, this is something that is obviously unique to this version, and again, I don't know why it's a thing, but, you know, it's fine. You know, I haven't really played with it. Now, I guess this is what everybody's kind of, like, looking forward to, the village square. So, these are obviously real people talking. This is, like, the town square, and again, it has these neat menus where you can choose the text that you want to talk in. It doesn't really seem like emotes are a thing as of right now. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. I don't see anybody really using emotes, so I don't know if there's actually a way to do that right now. Part of me is tempted to type an emote and then see if it works, but then again, I'm also just kind of too embarrassed to do so. So, like me, I usually used to talk in... I used to talk in yellow, but I would talk in, like, the muted gold yellow. So, like, the way you used to type an emote is you'd have to do this first, and then you'd have to say, like, looks around, or no, it wasn't even that, was it? I don't remember if it was this, or, yeah, and then you'd have to, like, there was another way. No, I'm doing it wrong. So it wasn't that, it was, you would have to do this to emote, and you would have to then looks around, and then if you wanted to actually do like a color, you would have to do this and then choose your color, and then you could start typing in that color, right? So like for me, my typical thing would say, it would say looks around, which would put it in like the standard color. And then I would have to then like go to the muted 8, or no, I would choose 8 for like a muted gold. Or if I wanted like a brighter gold, it would have to be like the upper, like this symbol, and then I'd have to type like that. And this is how we had to roleplay like back in the day. At least I'm pretty sure that's how it does. I guess I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. Oh, so oh, hell yeah. So it still works. Okay. So if you do it the old way, then it still works. So, yeah, I'm still gonna type in yellow. Wow. Interesting place. Okay. Alright. So that is pretty cool. I'm glad that it still follows that same standard. But as you can see, we are missing one essential... It's my 6th day! We are missing one essential thing, the gardens, okay? The gardens is essential for this. The gardens used to be the place of roleplay, right? That is where everybody gathered from every different town. That is where all the stories happen. So I am hoping someday we get the gardens. Then we have some beautiful backdrop for the gardens so that people can roleplay. Again, like I said, because this is in testing, we're just missing a lot of stuff, okay? The gardens aren't here. The individual towns aren't here. There's no traveling to the central town so that you can get all your marketing like needs met. It's all just very central. It's all very convenient. It's all very compact. Now, this is the developer's own vision of Legend of the Green Dragon. I'm sure they have their own goals, right? Which means not everything is going to match the Legend of the Green Dragon from my childhood or from my life, because it has been my entire life, like forever. Obviously, I'm not going to get all the conveniences, all the nostalgia. I'm not going to get everything from the Legend of the Green Dragon that I remember, that I grew up with, right? So here's the truth. There might not ever be a gardens, right? They might not ever add the gardens. There might not really be a roleplay aspect to this second age, right? It would be sad if that was the case, but that just might be the case. However, I'm still holding out hope. I still want to keep playing this. I still want to keep experiencing the new updates. And honestly, if you guys end up liking this video, I might actually just share the updates with you and let you know what's going on and kind of keep you updated on what I'm seeing and all this other stuff. Anyways, for now, that's really all I have to show you. I mean, I've essentially shown you everything. There are the fields if you want to fight people, but you have to slay the dragon at least once to unlock PvP, which I actually really appreciate, because then that keeps you from losing experience. We're obviously still missing guilds, and we're missing things like that. You have your Hall of Fame, which lets you know who killed the dragon how many times. We don't have a lot of players, obviously. You can see a lot of people with colorful names, which are either the developers or people that are friends of the developers. I mean, and that's just how it is. Hall of the Ancients. Not really sure what Hall of the Ancients is. It was probably someone that, these are probably people from like the old games. I wish that there was a way to kind of like, I guess just insert yourself and be like, hey, I used to play and I had 70 something dragon kills, right? That would be nice, but obviously this isn't the case. This might just be from, you know, longest married. This might just be from like their website, whatever website they came from, you know? But it would be nice if you could be like, hey, I was a player of blah blah blah, this was my name, this is what it was colored, this is how many dragon kills I had. It'd be nice if we could all have our name in Hall of the Ancients, because I know that my character can't be restored, but you know, damn, if she could, you know, I would have at least like 70 dragon kills. It's not impressive, but I loved that character more than anything, and it'd be nice to see her immortalized in something like this, so that'd be nice as well. So, as you can see, again, still in testing. We're missing a lot of stuff, but for now it is something nice. It's something compact. It still kind of brings back that feeling of nostalgia, but unfortunately without the roleplay aspect and the roleplay possibility, it doesn't really stick with me. It's not something I'm super excited about. I haven't encountered the dragon yet, so I'm not really sure what that's going to be like. I really do hope that there's an image for the dragon. If there's an image for nothing else, I hope that the dragon fight has an image. And I really hope it doesn't just show up once you're level 15, but it might, you know, since there's no dojo, there's no masters, and there's no other towns to really seek out the dragon. I'm not really sure what that experience is going to be like. Hopefully when it comes around, I'll be able to record it for you guys and kind of just explain it to you. But for now, yeah, I just wanted to give you a look at Legend of the Green Dragon, the second age, that is currently in testing. I would say look it up on Reddit, and then if you want to get involved in the testing yourself, I'm sure that they could use a lot more testers, and that would be really nice. So yeah, definitely give it a look for yourself, check it out, and yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me. If you like this video, feel free to leave a like. If you want to see more, leave me a comment in the comment section down below. If there's something that you want me to cover specifically, even if you want me to play Classic Legend of the Green Dragon again, just let me know, and I will try and get that done, even though the website's practically unplayable. At least my classic one is. Or if you just want me to check out a different LotGD site that you know of, let me know. I have tried playing some other ones, but it was just so full of drama, I just literally couldn't stomach it. And if you want me to have story time about that, hell, I might even do that too. But thank you guys so much for watching my videos, and as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Alright, ciao you guys.